Release management is an often overlooked discipline within software engineering, managing software releases through the use of a well-defined release management process and automation. Software projects invariably become more specialized and complex and are typically in an ongoing cycle of development, testing, and release. This, and the growing complexity of the platforms on which these systems run, make it clear that there are a lot of moving pieces that must fit together seamlessly to guarantee the success and long-term value of a product or project. This video will discuss how Notion Solutions manages releases for its software projects and how Notion utilizes these release management activities to improve the quality of the software that's being built. At Notion, release management activities include software configuration management, build promotion, and deployment. We'll talk about each of these sections independently. First, we'll talk about configuration management. For each project, Notion maintains a minimum of 4 primary branches of development. These branches allow for work to occur simultaneously so that the development team, testing teams, and external stakeholders and customers can all be engaged in work with the varying maturity levels of the software project's evolution. This also allows for well-understood definitions of the maturity of a specific line of source code. The quality assurance team can be confident that they're testing software that's been approved by the development team for a test because it's been merged into the quality assurance branch. Any work that's currently done in the development branch wouldn't have any bearing on the quality of the code that's in the quality assurance branch until the development team or testing team allowed for that merge to take place. Once quality assurance is complete, that code would then be promoted to a staging branch, from which a staging environment would be deployed. In this staging environment, customers and stakeholders can participate in user acceptance testing. Once UAT is complete, code that's ready for deployment would then be merged to the production branch and deployed from that branch. The team would then be assured that any version that's actually in production would be mirrored here in the production branch, and that any investigations into problems could occur within this specific version of version control. The branching model will be utilized to also influence quality by setting up check-in policies to assure that anyone integrating with a specific branch of version control has to pass certain hurdles that validate the quality of the work that's being checked in. In this case, we have set up check-in policies that assess whether there have been comments put in about the check-in, whether code analysis has been run for that check-in, whether check-in tests passed, and also whether a check-in was associated with work that was actually assigned. Build is a significant component of release management that Notion utilizes to help influence the quality of the software being built. Here we see a build report that will show over the course of time for a specific project all the builds that were run and the quality of those given builds. Here we see the results of a continuous integration build for our project. A continuous integration build, or CI build, is a build that runs each time work is committed to version control. Building this frequently allows us to see a granular view of how healthy our system is as the project evolves. It also allows us to quickly identify which changes cause the build to fail and to relatively assess the risk of a given set of changes. By using reports, such as the Quality Indicators report, we can see that relationship between the evolution of our software and the build process. For example, we can see that this particular check-in that led to this particular continuous integration build introduced a great deal more change than other check-ins in the process. We can also drill into an individual build to identify exactly what were the contents of a specific build. We can see which steps passed, which ones may have failed. We can see whether unit tests were run as part of this build, and if so, which ones passed and failed. We can see whether code analysis was a part of this build process. And we can see exactly which chain sets and which work items were associated with a given build. Notion also utilizes the team system build capabilities to automate the deployment process. This involves the automated deployment of an entire application directly from version control. This deployment includes both code and database changes, both of which are checked into version control, such that the deployments can be done in a predictable manner. In this example, we have a quality assurance build that builds the previous version of the application checked into the quality assurance branch and deploys it to a test environment so the test team can commence quality control activities. The results of this build can be seen here, and the quality of each build can be reviewed. Deployment to QA is more than just moving binaries and updating database changes. At Notion, a quality assurance build includes the deployment of a virtual test environment, the deployment of virtual platforms on which to execute tests, the deployment of the application and database changes in these environments, and the execution of both unit tests and a base set of automated smoke tests. After all of this has been done by the team build process, testers can begin testing with confidence in a stable, controlled environment. This has just been a peek into how Notion performs release management. All software artifacts, including documentation, code, and database changes, are versioned, built, and deployed in a controlled, automated manner during Notion development projects. For more information about release management, application lifecycle management, or just more information about how software is developed at Notion, please visit the Notion Solutions website at www.notionsolutions.com.